My name is Andy Lalino. I am the co-director, co-producer, and screenwriter of the new horror film, Filthy.
No, try coming from here down and push on camera 2, right? Go ahead and roll and don't stop. All the way up. And down and roll. Is this get up now? Yeah. Okay. 3, 2, 1, rolling.
The idea for the script, and when I first wrote the script, was in approximately, I'd say, early to mid 2001, with the idea of, after reading newspaper articles about people who live in housefuls of garbage. So one thing led to another, and I said, this would make a pretty cool story. Let me see if I could write a script about this, and I did. And it turned out to be about 33 pages long. But the whole garbage thing was actually a set that we constructed. We had to, I don't know, Krista, do you remember this? We had the cast and the crew bring in their garbage.
Clean garbage, of course.
Yeah, it was actually, it didn't smell. When you go through there, believe it or not, it didn't smell.
Mostly cans and papers, and it was all clean garbage.
But Filthy is our first professionally produced film. I would say that Filthy was intended to be a short. I had in my mind the dream of making it into a feature, but I think with the resources that we had at the time, making a short film was the most practical decision that we could have made when we shot it. Would I like to turn Filthy into a feature? I would love to. I've written a screenplay for the feature-length version. We are, really thinking about how we can do that. Get investors, raise money and everything. So hopefully that day will come soon. The beginning ideas for Filthy, yes, were based on, a true story.
This isn't what I think it is.
Actually, it was. It was reading articles in various newspapers about people who lived in housefuls of trash and garbage. And I said, man, that would make a great story. What kind of people would live in this place? They've got to be the filthiest people alive, the most disgusting, the most vile. So there was obviously a screenplay there. We shot Filthy in various locations around the Tampa Bay area. Tarpon Springs, for example. We shot at a metal scrapyard called Hobbs, which was a really great shoot. We also shot in kind of the Tri-City area, where Largo and Clearwater and St. Pete meet. Where they used to make the old Checkers restaurants in this big hangar type of building, and all the interiors were shot on a set where I used to work at a facility called Telemation.
Actually, Filthy was my first film. I had only done a commercial prior to that because I just got into the whole business of acting. Well, first of all, I pronounced my name wrong, didn't I?
I think everybody did.
I said, I'm auditioning for the role of a pussy. And it's pussy, obviously. Andy really directed me through it when I auditioned for it. He kind of gave me an idea of how he, thought the character should be. And so I honestly have to say that I think everybody got spoiled working for Andy, because then you expect everybody after to be kind of like that, he's just a nice, genuine guy. You wouldn't know it by watching Filthy. You wonder where this came from. But seriously, honestly, he's true intellect, gentleman, wonderful, puts everybody first, so. Well, I did a little research, called the family, called a few cousins, said, hey, let me come stay there for a little bit in the trailer park, and let me get pussy down. And Andy really, directed me as to how he saw the character.
Well, any plans for us working together in the future? We have worked on a few things together. We worked on, if anybody out there has the Filthy DVD, there's a trailer on there called Demolition Derby, which I co-directed with a friend of mine, Andrew Allen, and Krista's prominently featured in that, and that's a great trailer, which is on the Filthy DVD for those of you who have it. Take a look, see more of Krista. The budget, as it stands now, probably about $40,000. Very, very expensive for a short film. I did a real urine in the colostomy bag. Krista, I can't recall what we used. Was it beer or something, or some kind of stuff? We would mix stuff up.
Yeah,
on the set.
They had to keep adding something to it to make it look more like pee.
Yeah.
So
I thought it looked like amber box or something when you watch the movie. To me, it doesn't look like pee, but I guess it gets
dark pee. But coming from her, it would be.
Yeah, it gets the point across.
For me, probably.
Does that make her feel funny inside?
I think it makes everybody feel funny inside because when they see the hole punch scene, because first of all, it makes me feel funny because it hurt like hell. They actually, there's a little story behind it. Can I say?
Sure.
Well, the original effects guy was a little nervous about doing that because it was, you know, it's kind of hard to do. They had to pull the prosthetic, you know, eyelid off to get the hole puncher in. Well, my real eyelid came with it. So, but they didn't realize it. They thought I was acting. So they're like, good job, Krista, you know, right there. And I'm like, ah! But, so I had a little blister there, and poor Andy was so worried, and John, everybody, but it was no big deal.
You know, but it turned out to be, I think, one of the most effective special effects in the movie. Who did the makeup for Filthy? The makeup for Filthy was done by Brian Angeloff and Joy Patrikowski. They're two outstanding special effects makeup artists out of Orlando. And John Carless, the co-director of Filthy, you know, kind of brought them to the table. And they just worked out so great. They were able to solve problems, you know, on the fly, and they created Meat Man and a bunch, and the hole puncher effect, like we were talking about, and we're still great friends, and they were just outstanding. Where did we get the idea for Meat Man? Well, I think the idea stemmed from, okay, you have this family who lives in a house full of garbage. The main character hallucinates. I toyed around with, well, what do you find in garbage? Maybe meat scraps, TV dinners, and the meat scrap thing kind of stuck. And I said, well, if the garbage started coming to life, how would it look and everything? And so I developed it into something kind of disturbing, and you know, gave it the name of Meat Man, and it's really taken off. I mean, I get emails every other day about him. It's amazing. Was Meat Man really made out of meat? Partially. We actually went to Publix, and Publix would give us these, you know, scraps of fat and gristle and all this stuff. It smelled horrible. And the makeup artist made the latex suit, and then we did put meat on top of the suit. Like, we would stick it in like certain crevices and everything. So yes, Meat Man was partially made out of meat. And especially like when you see the movie, the lips, that's real fat, like dangling down from his, you know, quote, mouth. So yeah, it was a combo of the real stuff and the fake stuff.
Krista, were you attracted to the Meat Man?
No, he was cool, but he stunk. So I kept my distance.